This is insane. Mikal Bridges just called out New York Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau for the heavy minutes that he has been playing his starters that has fans, analysts, insiders, and everyone talking about. And now Leon Rose is going to have to make a decision, and we're going to break all of this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video today. And guys, if you're enjoying the content and are part of that 68% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, this is the place to be for all Knicks videos. You guys do not want to miss out. So guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We have a bunch of fun stuff coming, and we have multiple videos every single day. But let's jump into this because, again, we have a lot to discuss. Mikal Bridges, he just shocked NBA fans as he called Tom Thibodeau out on the heavy minutes that Thibodeau has been forcing his players. Now, it's no secret that Tom Thibodeau has been playing the starters way too many minutes this season, and a lot of people have come up in arms against Thibodeau's playing of these minutes as it could lead to injuries, fatigue, and overall the team not performing as well as they possibly could in the NBA playoffs. And everyone expected that the players, considering it's what Josh Hart has echoed, that they're fine with these heavy minutes. But Bridges, the man who plays the most minutes, the man that Tom Thibodeau has never given a break to, now has finally stepped up and spoken out about these heavy minutes and why they are not a good idea. And this is absolutely nuts. Now, jumping in to Mikal Bridges, who spoke to the media on this, Stefan Bondy said that Mikal Bridges asked Tom Thibodeau to back off a bit on the starters' minutes because the New York Knicks bench deserves more. Now, yes, part of the reason is because of the New York Knicks bench, but that is not all of the reason, as Mikal Bridges would later speak out on the minutes and say that he did not enjoy these heavy minutes of playing every game and every minute of every game all the time, and that it is exhausting and rough on the body, which, you know, it's not hard to believe that being true. And diving into Mikal's exact comments, because I don't want to put words in his mouth, he said, sometimes it's not fun on the body. You'll want that as a coach, but also talk to him a little bit, knowing that we've got a good enough team where our bench guys can come in and we don't need to play 48 minutes, 47. We've got a lot of good guys on this team that can take away minutes, which helps the defense, helps out the offense, helps tired bodies being out there, giving up all these points. It helps just keeping fresh bodies out there. So look, I'm not trying to say, again, I'm not trying to put words in Mikal Bridges' mouth, but that man effectively just said, look, this is exhausting. It's insane. It's making me worse at defense. And Mikal, of all the New York Knicks starters this season, he's been under fire the most. Mikal's been under the most fire by these Knicks fans because he has had these moments. He's had these games where he just hasn't performed like the Mikal Bridges that the New York Knicks traded 5 first-round picks for. Mikal has had games where he's only putting up 6 points and very limited shots and basically sitting in the corner not doing much. And a lot of fans have complained about it. But it feels like when it comes down to it, no one's talking about the fact that it very well could be the fact that Mikal Bridges plays more minutes than anyone in the NBA by a lot. Now, the New York Post actually asked people about Mikal's claims, and everyone seemingly agreed with Mikal Bridges that these minutes are insane and that they are causing the New York Knicks more harm than good. And I'm part of that. I agree. I think these minutes are insanely high. I think that Tibbs needs to take a step back, and I'm not the only person who thinks that. Now, former New York Knick Channing Frye, longtime NBA player, said there's no way that you can go dumb hard for 40 minutes every single night in a game. That's why it's frustrating, because the Knicks have all the talent in the world. Every year, it's a repeating thing of, oh man, the Knicks are really good. Oh, hamstring. Oh, foot. Oh, hamstring. 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 Knees. They must have a deal with a doctor. What is going on? Give them a chance to be great. You need a break. Just give the starters 35 minutes. And I could not agree more with Channing Frye. Giving the starters 35 minutes a night is not going to kill anybody. It's not. It's not going to cause an epic downfall on the world. No one is going to fall apart because instead of 40 minutes per night, the Knicks starters are playing 35 minutes a night, which will just change how things go. Those extra minutes will add up either way. You give them 35 minutes a night, the Knicks are going to be well rested in the playoffs. You give them 40 minutes every night, either way, they're going to add up into either way too many minutes or a good amount of rest for the Knicks. Now, this is when it's important to note, Tom Thibodeau is a coach who does not practice the Knicks very hard. He doesn't make them sprint up and down the court all the time. He's not riding them super hard in practice as well. Josh Hart has been open about the fact that he's never had more off days in comparison to other teams compared to how it is with Tom Thibodeau, who has given the Knicks a ton of time off to rest their bodies and be their best selves for games, which I agree with the idea of that. And it does make sense in the playoffs, especially going down the stretch to the playoffs as well. But you should still be playing these guys around around 35 minutes per night. So when the playoffs come, you could play these guys 40, 42, 43, 44 minutes a night even, and you're not going to be afraid of these guys burning out because throughout the season, they've been well rested, and now they are built up. They're ready to go. They're healthy, and now it's time to make that push. That is what the New York Knicks should be doing. But Mikal Bridges is the poster child of not letting this happen because of everything that's gone down. The Knicks, they don't trust their bench because of all these trades, the Karl-Anthony Towns trade, the Mikal Bridges trade. All this stuff has led to the New York Knicks, the OG Anunoby trade. All of this, we're giving away more players than we're taking back, except for the Mikal trade's a little bit different, but it did kind of mess with the Knicks salary cap a little bit, so that did have an impact on things as well. But it's important to note here that Mikal Bridges, he is getting fed up with this, as he should be. You look at it, Mikal's the only player who's played over 2,400 minutes this season, and the only player who's played 2,300 or more outside of Bridges is Josh Hart. It's insane that this has happened. Mikal has not missed a game, and he's played the most minutes in the NBA this season. It's just, you look at things, and you're like, how is this even allowed? Like, what is Tibbs thinking? Like, yes, Anthony Edwards has played a ton of minutes. Devin Booker, a ton of minutes. De'Aaron Fox, a ton of minutes. Jason Tatum, a ton of minutes. So we're seeing these stars play a lot of minutes. It makes sense. Jalen Brunson's on the list. And all that, it makes sense. They're all closer. But the fact that Mikal's getting 200 more minutes than third place is insane. It's nuts. It's really more like 130. But still, it's insane. They're playing these Knicks too much, and these guys are so valuable for the playoffs, and it just feels like Tom Thibodeau is not making the correct choice on this whatsoever, if you ask me. Especially when you go to minutes played per game, and you look at the top 25, every single New York Knick can be found there, despite the fact that Towns, Brunson, they've both missed time with injuries. OG Anunoby has missed a few games with injury. They're all here. Well, this is minutes per game, so it does show that. But it shows that they're also not getting these nights where they're getting to rest a ton. Now, Brunson, I will say, Brunson and Towns, for the level of star they are, Tibbs is actually not playing them that many minutes. And last season, Tibbs didn't have a single guy in the top 10 in minutes. So now it's the fact that the Knicks don't have a deep rotation in their wings. But now they have PJ Tucker, who should be able to eat minutes. They have Landry Shamet, who's been playing a very good brand of basketball. He should be able to eat minutes as well. Why is Tom Thibodeau not letting these guys eat more minutes? It does not make sense to me. Now, on top of this, you look at the Knick who played the most minutes off the bench in Deuce McBride, who's 151st in minutes per game, which is insanely low for a sixth man. That is wild to see a sixth man be in the 150s in minutes. A guy who has been very good for the New York Knicks, the best player off their bench, and he's not even getting 25 minutes per game. This is not modern basketball. This is overplaying guys and underplaying your bench. And Mikal's right. The bench has shown a lot of promise, especially recently. And Thibodeau should be able to take some credit for that because they've gotten better as the seasons went on. And because of all this, it does make sense that Leon Rose is going to have a very tough decision to make as well. It feels like there's a world where he might be like, hey, Tibbs, you can't do this again or we're going to fire you. It also depends on what happens with the New York Knicks in the playoffs. Do they get bounced in the first round, and is it because of injuries? Is Tom Thibodeau really going to be around next season? It's becoming a question. It really, truly is becoming a question at this point. Now, a lot of things do depend on how Mitchell Robinson is going to hold up as well. That'll have a huge impact on things, especially because if the Knicks have him in the playoffs, they will be a much better team. But taking a look at Mikal Bridges, a guy who's putting up 17 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 3.5 assists with 1 steal, shooting 49% from the field and 35% from 3, while also shooting 43% from the corner 3. He's having a good season, but he's having these quieter games, and I think a huge part of that is he's tired. He literally said it's not easy on the body. He spoke out on this and no one cares or something. I don't think that's true. I think that people weren't realizing why Mikal was playing not great and having quiet games, and it's simply because of 2 reasons. One, Mikal Bridges has been prone to quieter games in the past in his career. He's had these up and down stretches. He always does. But on top of that, everyone just figures, oh, Mikal plays every game. He's fine. Not if he's playing way more minutes than everyone else. And I feel like that's the realization, or not the realization, but the rationalization that Tom Thibodeau has. He says to himself, all right, well, Mikal Bridges, he plays every game. Why does it matter? I'll just keep playing him. He's all right. Josh Hart, he's going to do fine. He'll be okay. He puts up 14.5 points per game, 9 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 45%, 54% from the field, and 34% from 3. I can't read. But looking at that, looking at these 2 guys, the guy who does not miss games, and then the other guy who is absolutely just out there doing his thing all the time, being this hustle guy, they're playing the 2 most minutes in the NBA. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me when With Mikal, it makes a little bit more sense of Tibbs saying, oh, well, Mikal's always fine. He always plays anyway. Might as well play him a ton of minutes. Josh Hart being the hustle guy, why is he playing the second most minutes in basketball? I get it works in the playoffs, but let Josh Hart save that for the playoffs. If you want to play Mikal 44 minutes in the playoffs, that's fine, but don't make him play nearly 40 minutes per game in the regular season. That is where things get weird. The man's over 38 minutes per game. He's going to get tired. He's literally saying it. He's telling Tom Thibodeau to do this. And if Mikal's speaking to the media on this, if he's going out there and talking to the media, it means he's probably talked to Tibbs before and Tibbs has not done anything about it, because it feels like a stretch for one of these Nova Knicks to go to the media unless there's a severe problem. Now, I am seeing Twitter saying, oh, this guy's not like the other 3 Nova Knicks. Maybe he just doesn't want to play the insane minutes that none of these Nova Knicks ever had to play in the regular season. Did we ever think about that? We didn't. Because last year, none of the Knicks were in the top 10 in minutes. So this wasn't a problem for the Nova Knicks. This is now a problem for the 3 Villanova Knicks. Mainly Bridges and Hart loves it, so it doesn't matter. But even though he's admitted that it does take a toll. Now, taking a look at Tommy Beer, who's just an awesome guy to follow on Twitter if you're a Knicks fan. Games with 40 minutes played this season. Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart have 26 and 22. OG Anunoby has 17. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's at the very worst going to finish in second for MVP voting this season, has 1 game over that. Meanwhile, Donovan Mitchell also has 1 game over 37 minutes played this season, while Josh Hart has 44. Mikal Bridges has 37, and OG has 33. Tibbs is overplaying these wings because he doesn't trust the backups, and it's just not a feasible way in winning basketball games whatsoever. And on top of all that, when you look at games with more than 40 minutes played this season, Mikal Bridges has 26. Every player on the Cavs combined has 1, and every player on the Thunder combined has 3. As Tommy Beer says, it's fascinating to consider the difference in coaching style. It's not coaching style, it's a coaching decision. A decision that Tom Thibodeau is clearly screwing up. It's just a matter of if it ends up biting the Knicks or not, and we are going to report on if it does or if it doesn't, no matter what. So make sure you subscribe to Knicks Digest, like this video, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.